Senator Bernie Sanders called on the Justice Department to block the $85 billion AT&T-Time Warner merger. Now, he wrote a letter, and I want to read this to you because it was posted on medium.com, and it's an open letter. And he writes, "This proposed merger is just the latest effort to shrink our media landscape, stifle competition and diversity of content, and provide consumers with less while charging them more." Very, very good points, of course. I definitely agree with that. And look, one of the reasons I should say, is that AT&T isn't exactly pro net neutrality. Now, that's what would prevent diversity of content. And of course, that means smaller channels like us, like a lot of the internet providers or internet shows that provide content, well, they're not going to be able to afford the fast lane, slow lane, the whole net neutrality thing. And of course, if AT&T gets larger, you know they're going to use that extra power to be able to fight against net neutrality. Now, Sanders continues, "Our democracy thrives when there is a diversity of viewpoints and when citizens have unlimited access to information. Analysts have called the proposed deal a seismic shift for the media and technology sectors, with a giant telephone company gaining control over hugely valuable brands spanning television, film, sports, news, video games, and mobile and residential internet service." He also says this merger represents a gross concentration of power that runs counter to the public good and should be blocked. There it is, unequivocal. He says, no, blocked. Block this shit. Awesome. Now, in his letter, he also quoted Public Citizen, which is a nonprofit. It says this merger aims to concentrate far too much market communications and political power in one corporation, threatening to impede the free flow of information, undermine the integrity of the internet, raise consumer prices, and further corrupt our politics. Now, how would they corrupt our politics? Well, look, a lot of these large media companies, well, they get a lot of money from super PACs in order to air campaign ads. So that's kind of how they're involved in the corruption of politics. And of course, when you're getting paid, when you're a corporation, you're going to look out for corporate interests. AT&T, as I said, for example, is against net neutrality because it would help them. It is in their corporate interests to oppose net neutrality. So that is definitely one of the ways that it can corrupt our politics. Now, he also warns that this merger wouldn't be the only one. It would actually cause other mergers. He says, finally, approving this deal would lead to a wave of other mergers in the media industry at a time when our telecommunications and media industries are already too concentrated. We should be focused on opening those markets to more competition, not less. Oh, but see, yeah, they don't like that competition. And these companies, AT&T and Time Warner, claim that, hey, we're only consolidating because we have competition in the form of Netflix and Amazon and YouTube, of course. Well, those people, I mean, they're challenging us. They're actually giving people what they want to see. They're actually giving people facts, and we don't like that. That threatens us. So we have to consolidate more to protect ourselves instead of doing the things that will actually help them gain customers back. Like, they don't get it. They don't get why people are leaving. So, like, we give you 300 channels, 2 of which you might watch for $100. Why are they leaving? I don't understand. We're controlling more and more of the information that you're consuming. I wonder why people are leaving to other sources of information. They don't get it. Because they're only thinking about their bottom line. Which is ironic because their bottom line is literally on the line. If they don't change, if they don't do something different. But here they go again. Consolidation. That's the answer. Destroy all our competition by merging and consolidating and gaining even more market share. That is old school corporate politics. Now, he says the media and telecommunications landscape is changing, it is important that public policy concerns guide these changes so that we may preserve our democratic discourse in competitive, open markets for speech and commerce. That is the function of our antitrust laws. I ask you to enforce them and block the proposed merger. Bless Bernie Sanders' heart. I miss this guy. I wish this guy was still running. So, and speaking of the presidential election, I want to give you the stances of the other candidates on this whole issue. Now, Hillary Clinton, for example, pulls a classic Hillary. She says, "Don't worry, we're going to watch the deal closely." That's it? You're going to watch the deal. See, this is why we don't like you. This is a terrible deal for the consumer. A great deal for them. Obviously, it's an $85 billion deal. That's going to make AT&T millions, billions of dollars. And she's going to watch it. Hillary Clinton, get a clue. Get a clue. The people are against this. The people are against giant corporate mergers. They don't like that. They're going to see this deal. They're going to see the fact that this is going to raise their prices. And they're going to hate this deal if it goes through. Now, let's look at Donald Trump on the other hand. I actually have to give Trump some credit. He says, block it. Block the deal. At a rally last Saturday, he told the crowd that, quote, "This is too much concentration of power in the hands of a few." That's amazing. Donald Trump actually on the right side. And look, let's be honest, okay? I got to note that Time Warner does own CNN. Donald Trump's not exactly a fan of CNN. Nor is he a fan of a lot of media outlets at this point. Just saying, even if there's a selfish motive involved, at least on this issue, he's actually on the right side of it. But of course, Bernie Sanders is on the right side for the right reason. He looked at this whole thing and said, no. Fuck that shit. Fuck that noise. Let's block it. I'm calling on the Justice Department to end this. But, see, and look, it's not just this merger that's the problem, okay? It is the fact that we have a consolidated media, thanks to Bill Clinton and the Telecommunications Act. We now have 6 corporations that control about 90% of the media that we're allowed to consume. That is not good. Too much consolidation leads to the things that Bernie was warning about already, that we've already seen. You've got customers with higher prices. You've got less free flow of information. You have, of course, an electorate that is no longer informed. Look at the TV audience. They are not as informed as they should be. Because these corporations, these media companies, are going to do what's in the best interest of their shareholders. That's how this whole thing works. I'm not against corporations making money. That is their sole purpose. But you have to keep them in check. You actually have to enforce laws to prevent them from being too big. We haven't been doing that because the corporations have purchased our government. Now, as far as choice and competition, obviously this leads to less. There's going to be higher prices. And as I said, the prices are already too high today. That's why I cut the cord, right? Too much money for a bunch of channels that I don't even watch. Now, I brought up the idea, and a lot of other people have, of an a la carte system. They need to transfer over. Like, hey, you pay a certain amount a month for the cable channels that you pick. Leave out all the extra bullshit that we don't want, and let us choose our own channels, an a la carte system. That would revolutionize cable TV, and it would actually bring people back. Because, hey, I get to choose the channels that I want at a competitive price. Sounds like a good deal to me. And I think that's the only thing that'll save cable television at that point. Now, the government, of course, will be looking this over. It'll take probably a year. They're estimating. So we have time. So with the time that we have, I think that we need to send a very strong message to our regulators to make sure to block this merger. and to keep our telecommunications companies from getting even larger. They're already too big. This would make it even worse. We've got time. Let's put a stop to it. Let's put on the pressure. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent, non-corporate media, go to our Patreon page and become a patron. Patreon.com/TYTNation.